Greetings, Inquisitor. Welcome to the Holocron. This is the Week 67 update for the Darth Loquitur account. I update this account's progress every week, go through all of the character upgrades, the plans for the future, things that are happening, and you can follow along. With that in mind, let's get into it. Let's see what happened with the account. We said that the target for Week 67 was to get Shaak to Gear 13 and Relic up for the JMK journey. First things first, if we're going to get her all the way to the appropriate relic level, we do need Zimbiddle cards. So I'm going to go over here and take a look and see what I've got for Zimbiddle cards. You'll see that I'll take these hollow lenses first before anything else. I do want to farm those. They're on a good node that also has hypo syringes, the Mark 6 syringes. So we want to farm those. We commit to some more of this other gear and end up making 20 total Zimbiddle cards. That's going to allow us to get Shaak today to Relic 7 and also puts us in good shape for the next character that we need to get to Relic 7. So we've got those now in the bank. And I don't mind that I have to refarm those hollow lenses. Like I said, that's a good node for us to be farming anyway. So here we go to Relic 4, 5, amplify again, using up all of our rare resources here. And here we're going to take it to 7. Use up the rest of what we've got. We had the signal data pretty much right where it needed to be, so you'll see we're out of all the signal data. And we get the quest completion for that JMK journey. So there's our Shaak all the way to Relic 7. Congratulations, Shaak. You're all grown up now. We do want to take a look at Admiral Ackbar. We've been using Home 1 as a fleet in Grand Arena for the Geos. So we want to spend some effort on him. We're going to go into the journey guide first and take a look. Bo-Katan can take upgrade to Gear 11. She won't be able to get Gear 12, of course, until she gets that 7th star, so that's as far as she's going to be able to go. Mace Windu is part of the journey. We see 6 green pluses on him, but there's some duplicate gear in there, so we're not going to get him to Gear 12 this week. And we're not going to try too hard to push it. So we go into Ackbar. And the upgrade button just stays on the screen time and time again. We take him all the way up to Gear 12. And we used up some gear. That's okay. We need to get this capital ship working. So first things first, though, before we start spending credits over there, we do want to use some shipbuilding materials on this BTLB Y-Wing. We got the 6th star on that. That's pretty good. Now we can start using that in our negotiator fleet instead of the Houndstooth, and that can free Houndstooth up to be used somewhere else. So with the credits that we've got, we can take it to level 75 right now. We could take it a little higher, but I do want to upgrade the skills. Use up some of this prestige that we've got in the bank. That's fine. We're going to get the passive all the way up to 8. Take a look at the basic, but we really don't want to level the basic until we are pretty much finished with the capital ship, so we'll leave that alone. Don't use the basic too much in these fleet fights anyway, except for the finalizer, in which case you use that basic quite a bit. So we got the skills to level 3 on the capital ship. It's not great, but it's progress, step in the right direction. Burn through a bunch of shipbuilding materials, and then in the coming weeks we'll just keep adding some shipbuilding materials over there and trying to get that Home 1 in a better situation. Taking a look at what's left over now, the Armorer is ready to take a level up. Again, this is a character that we want to build to go with Sith Eternal Emperor. It'll be part of our team that we'll use to beat SLKR someday when we need to do that. 100 Chirotechs needed for each one of those 2 slots, so that's quite a commitment. We'll have to be careful with that. Our relicking characters, of course, take some of those Chiros as well, so we'll have to be cautious before we click buttons over there. We do have, I won't say spare stun guns, but we're not too hard up for Carbantes on this account, so we're able to put that stun gun down, lock it in. Here we're going to take a look at the Zeta for the Earn Your Signet. It's pretty good. It gives a 100% counter chance to the character that gets that 3 stacks of Beskar armor. But is it worth putting a Zeta on right now? So I don't know. Even eventually, it doesn't really make the difference between winning and losing for the sea battles, I think. So we're going to leave it alone for now. see if we need it. Maybe I'll be proven wrong later when I get into that combat and find out that we really need those counterattacks to go over the top with damage. We're going to get Wrecker going. He's on the same note as that BTLB Y-Wing. We're almost up to 7 stars with him. There may be use for him some days, so we're going to go ahead and take him up. We've got Nihilus and Scion that we could work on someday as well, but for today, I think we're going to do some other stuff with our credits. We've got about 14 million in the bank this week. We've been farming mod slicing materials, so we haven't been, pouring our typical 5 to 10 million into mod work every week. So we've saved up a little bit to get some characters going. That's what we're going to do. Droideca's on the same note as the Xanadu blood. That's why we've got him started, because we've started farming that Xanadu blood. Here we're going to go into Shaak Ti. We're going to look across all of our characters, and we're going to try to get her over 300 speed if we can. She's a pretty fast character, so with some decent mods, we should probably be able to get her over 300 speed. Now, I'm not going for a critical damage set on Shaak Ti. Those are just happen to be mods that have pretty good speed substats on them. So we're sticking with that. We put on this arrow, and that gets us to 312 speed. That's pretty good. We're going to go ahead and lock that in. We still have some potential slicing we can do on a few of those mods, so maybe we can get her to go even faster at some point in the future. With our almost 14 million credits that we've got left at this point, I'm going to start a couple new characters. Han and Chewy seem like good candidates for that. They're good characters. I'm thinking that we're going to do the JML journey sometime after the JMK journey. That'll get us a CLS team, and Han and Luke will be important characters then, so let's get them up and running now. Shoots first. It's good. It's not great, but we're going to put it on someday anyway, so we go ahead and put it on now. We're not going to do mods because our credits are just enough to get 2 characters going. So if we launch Han and Chewy, we won't really have enough resources to also be able to finish out mods to level 15. I park most of my mods in my inventory at level 12, so typically there's a cost associated with assigning mods and getting them up to level 15. So we'll hold off on that till we get more gear on these guys. Building up their skills, applying Omegas where we think it's important. And here on Loyal Friend, this is a pretty good skill. Recovering health and protection is always nice. So we take a look at that Zeta, and it's like Han, it's one that you're going to apply someday anyway. So in the end, we decide, you know what, let's just go ahead and put that on. We've still got 80 in the bank. Might as well put these to use somehow. So we'll get Chewy just started. And again, we'll have to put mods on him, and over the course of the next few weeks, we'll have to try to commit a little bit of gear to those guys and see if we can get them leveled up a bit. I was looking at Clone Wars Chewbacca there because he has quite a few shards on overflow, and at some point we'll take him to 7 stars and cash in on the shard shop. Here's a team that we could use with Han and Chewy. We put in a Queel to give them boosted damage, health, and things of that nature. So this team, again, it's not that great, but imagine that we do Relic the Queel. Even at low gear, this team could probably surprise an opponent. Han gets to shoot first, so the banner stealing is pretty much baked in from the start. He just shoots somebody and steals some banners, and then, probably the team gets beaten, but it's a nice little combo. They have to go after Vandor Chewbacca first, because if they don't, then he'll resurrect the other scoundrels when they die, so it's not a very tricky little team, but, it'll catch the opponent's attention. They'll have to work on Stormtrooper Han. He has taunt, so it's just an idea to make use of those characters until, of course, we get a CLS team or something like that to put them in. All right, count status as of week 67, 2.82 million galactic power. We put on about 50,000. Most of that was in the characters that we started with Han and Chewy, and also, we got a pretty good chunk onto Ackbar this week as well. That brings us up to 26 relics with Shaak Ti being added this week, and a total count of 40 Zetas applied. In Squad Arena, C and Watt are still getting top 50, although we have to fight for it now. Every day we're getting pushed down to a 75 or something like that, and we have to play 2 battles to get back up in the top 50 if we want to maintain that. So we need to get that armor going so that we can work our way through the ocean of SLKRs that are currently in the squad arena to secure that position. In fleet arena, we still got the negotiator getting top 5, usually second place every day that I get a chance to play. We do have executor in the fleet now, so second is about as good as I can do at the moment. The project is going to be Cad Bane. We're going to take Cad Bane to Relic in week 69. I was thinking about Wat Tambor, but I think I want to get Cad Bane going first. He'll be another strong character in that bounty hunter team, and we'll continue to make that bounty hunter team more of a threat on defense. All right, in terms of energy for next week, we're still doing the aggressive farming with the Vulture, Hyena Bomber, the BTL, the IG-2000 and Xanadu Blood ships are now under farm, and Bo-Katan. So still keeping up with 6 hard farms on this account. It's quite a lot. In fleet, we're doing the Rebel Y-Wing and working on the Mandalorian a little bit. We still have to finish out the B1 battle droid as well, so of course when it's hard node day, then I can tap into the B1 and get some more shards for him. Cantina, we're doing signal data. Mod energy, we're doing slicing materials. We'll do 1 more week of that, and then we'll go back to the normal mod farming routine. In terms of refreshes, we're doing 3 on mods energy and fleet energy, and then we're refreshing the Cantina on all energy day and on Cantina energy day. Squad Arena store, we're still buying prestige sometimes and using that for gear out of the Squad Arena store. We really haven't been using that to feed the shard shop much at all. It's pretty much gear or prestige now only. Out of the fleet store, we're buying Zeta materials. We're occasionally still buying some ships out of there. We'll eventually have to get both Biggs and Wedge up and running, so sometimes I'm buying Biggs and Wedge ship out of there. We won't spend too much effort on those other than getting them a little bit here and there out of the Galactic War store and out of the fleet store. And, eventually whenever we need them, we'll have 330 shards of that sitting around. So we got plenty of time to build that. I'm not in a hurry, just when I've got spare currency. Everything else is going to feed the shard shop. It's a weird week. This is the week that Grand Arena got canceled in the middle of the week, so if anybody goes back and looks at this video at some point in the future, it'll be kind of an earmark of when that whole thing happened. Looks like the Grand Arena season got shut down. I don't know if they'll be starting an entirely new season or what will happen next, but it makes it kind of a weird week, and sort of that cycle that I was looking at and trying to get into Erodium and position my account for that is now not going to happen. It gives me a few more weeks in theory to prepare for Erodium, because of course if they restart the season, then I'll restart it there in Chromium 2. So that's actually a good thing, and it'll take a little bit of the pressure off to build, because we need 4 more teams going to Erodium. So teams like that little Han team that I was looking at with the Queel and Han and Chewy, those are the kinds of teams that I can build when I get into Erodium. It's going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel, but we could take a look at some of those things. It'll give us a few more weeks, and that's kind of convenient. That way we can get all those characters a little better modded and get ready. So what does that leave me to talk about if the cycle of planning is interrupted? And I figured what I would do with this video is just talk a little bit about our community that we have over on Discord. The link is in the description of the Holocron down below. And I just want to tell everybody, just to acknowledge, I enjoy helping people, and there's so many people, good people over in that community who are asking questions. And if nobody asked any questions, then there wouldn't be much for me to share or to do or help that I could give. So I appreciate that people are asking questions. And I also like to see over there that people just ask questions in the general chat, and that the whole community is willing to try to help people and answer. And so that's fantastic. And I also appreciate, when people reach out to me either in the channel or directly with gameplay or some, thing that I may not have known, little tidbits and facts that I can bring up in the channel later. I do appreciate that. So thanks to everybody in that community over on Discord. And if you aren't part of it, get on over there and join us. It's definitely, worth looking in there a couple times a day. And even if you just want to come for the meme channel and the spoiler channel and read the funny things that people are saying about that stuff, that's, get a laugh out of it too. Another way to join the community is to join the Patreon group, and for people who pay $4 a month, that gets them access to a bunch of special stuff over in Discord. I'm on Tuesday and Thursday nights usually, and I'll help people set Grand Arena defenses, talk to them about their rosters, whatever people need from me. I mean, I'm going to be on setting my defenses anyway, so I just hang out with the people in the Patreon group. So that's nice. It gets extra privileges and better access. And one other thing I want to say about the community, man, it is really a winning community. I hear people talking all the time about going, 2-1 and 3-0 in almost every round. If somebody, loses a couple in a row, then it's a big deal on the losses. And we've really got a lot of people who are high placement with low GP. So, people in Kyber with only 4.5 million, we got people in Erodium with like 3.2 million. And of course, we've got accounts like the Loquitur account around 2.7 million that are high up in Chromium and getting ready to move on to Erodium, which that's a big deal. It shows that we're building good accounts over here. And especially for the people with the Inquisitor tag, it's nice to see them, up high in the skill points compared to their GP, fighting up 2 million galactic power. That's fun stuff, guys. Keep that up. Keep winning. That's going to wrap it up for the video today. Not much else to say. Not much grand planning has been going on, but we'll sit tight and see when they relaunch the next season of Grand Arena. That'll give us more direction on the short-term planning. And of course, we're just going to be grinding along on this JMK journey until we finally get to the end and get the big man in the account. We're pretty good on cat shards. I think we have 296, so we're in the home stretch. We need about 35 more cat shards, and we'll be able to get that character unlocked and ready for JMK. So that's fun. Or, for other teams as well. She doesn't necessarily have to go with JMK. I think she often will, but we'll see how it all shakes out, because against a lot of opponents, I probably don't need cat in the JMK team to be able to hold off the opponent. So where they can't beat my Galactic Legend without, then I get cat as an offensive tool. So I think it'll be a great addition to the account and add a lot to my flexibility on teams that I can beat. That's going to be it for this week. Thank you all for watching. Again, join Discord. It's in the link down below. Just click on it. It'll take you over to the server. I really hope to see you over there. Thanks a lot, and I will see you all in the next Holocron.